Hello and welcome back to the Craft Box. My name is Brent and today we are talking about a thing that got suggested in the comments. I do this sometimes, try and do it once a week, but it depends how many comments I get, you know. If you have any suggestions of the things that I should talk about in a video, go and leave them down below in the comments section, and I do read all the comments. If I don't, it doesn't look like I do, trust me, I do. I try very hard to do that. Yes. But anyway, today we're just gonna go to a different realm because it's a bit of my mouse is still dead. Okay. My mouse is dying. It's okay, don't worry about it though, it's fine. It'll be fine. I promise it will try and be fine. Weird scenery today, I know, we're in Dragonspire, like, ugh, yuck. I thought I might do this while farming Lawmaster, because why not? I mean, I would do it anyway, and it gives me a perfect excuse to do it, plus being productive, so like it's a win-win. But anyway, as you can probably tell by the title, we are going to be talking about KingsIsle games like Wizard101, Pirate101 on Steam. This was a topic that was brought up in the middle of last year, 2017, with the release of EverClicker, I believe, when I think it got approved. They tried to put it on Steam and it got approved. I think it got approved. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really dug into it a bit. I hope I'm using the right deck. I don't think I am. That would be bad. Am I? No, I'm not. Luckily, we have to wait. So, yeah, it was brought up in the middle of last year, and it kind of sparked a bit of debate around the community. I've seen a couple of videos about it, and I'm not saying that, like, I'm first to spring on this subject, but it got asked, so I'm going to answer it. In my personal opinion, I haven't really thought about it, but, like, I think that it would be good for some of the games, but also bad. I think it would be good because it will bring a whole bunch of new players to the game, which is really good, especially for Pirate101, and I highly want Pirate101 to be on Steam, and I wouldn't mind if Wizard isn't, because I don't see Wizard101 as a dying game, mainly because I do play Pirate, and that is definitely a dying game. But, yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to it, but, yeah. Basically, I don't think that there is enough advertisement currently for either game. Like, there's no advertisement at all. I haven't seen adverts in, like, years. I personally started playing the game in 2010 or 11, and I played because I got spammed with advertisements. I gave in to advertisements. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like 10 or 11, but like I got spammed, and I'm like, whoa, this seems weird. So I clicked on it once, and I'm like, oh, it's a game. That's cool. So that's personally how I started, and I do think that there needs to be far more advertisements for the game. You see other games that are old, if not older, than Wizard101. Obviously, this game is coming on 10 years this year, I believe. Yeah, 10 years, 2008, 18. 10 years, which is crazy. But other older games like RuneScape and WoW, you still see advertisements online for it. I see RuneScape ones too many times. It's because I used to play it, but yeah. I see it way too much, but that game is still going okay-ish. I have heard of issues with it, but like it's not as it's not dying as much as, say, Pirate101, but and that I would think is to do because they have so many advertisements and just trying to entice new people to play, which is a good idea for a game, and that's what all games should try and do. Obviously, KingsIsle is a company and trying to earn money, which some people find hard to believe, and I kind of and they criticize KingsIsle for that, but I personally don't. I think what they're doing, yeah, there's better ways to do things, but for what they're trying to achieve as a company, I think that they're just trying to make money. I can't even speak. Trying to make money, which is what all companies should be trying to do. And if you have investors, it's definitely important. So that's personally what I think. Other people have different opinions, but back to being on Steam, I think it would bring a whole new life to definitely Pirate 101. And I think being on Steam plus more advertisements would definitely help their income, which seems to be their excuse. Yeah, I don't like the word excuse, but at this point it kind of is their excuse for not making updates. And I find it really hard to play Pirate with without many updates. Like, I don't think if I wasn't doing the privateer walkthrough, I wouldn't have a membership for Pirate. Like, there's no question about that. I don't go on my Musketeer, I don't go on my Witch Doctor. I went on my Witch Doctor around the Christmas season to get the badges, but if I wasn't playing the game, would have I gone and got a membership just to get the badges? No. I did it just because I already had a membership. And I think a lot of other people who play both games, like Blaze Lifehammer and all those, like him, I know he doesn't, I'm pretty sure he said in one of his recent videos that he doesn't actually have like a membership to Pirate because he doesn't play it anymore. And I completely understand that, because if I wasn't doing the walkthrough, I wouldn't have a membership to Pirate. And I think if they could try and get a whole lot more new players in, it would definitely help them as a company achieve more, and hopefully allow them to update their game with a new world, which we haven't seen since 2015. Or 2016, sorry. Which is crazy. And it's kind of disgusting because it's a great game. Like, if I could play one game, I would definitely be playing Pirate 101. But I just don't, because it's just so boring. Because nothing's new, there's nothing to come back to. The only reason, this is something else you guys don't know, the only reason I came back to Wizard101 is because of Pirate 101. I learnt that they were making a new game called Pirate 101, and I'm like, hell yeah, that sounds lit. So I decided, why not, I'm just gonna play it. This was really early on. I've played Pirate 101 for a long time. Nearly since it came out. I think since it came out I've had an account of some kind playing the game. Which is kind of crazy, because I haven't ever in my life been so hyped for a game. And then, yeah. And I started playing Wizard101 as well, because I'm like, well, why not? I did remember Wizard101, obviously. It was part of my childhood, as with RuneScape. Those two games are kind of like my childhood games. And I thoroughly enjoyed Wiz, obviously, because I still play it. And I came for Pirate, and then I'm like, well, maybe I just start Wiz again, because why not? It was a fun game. Let's see what's different, what's new. And I came back to Wiz in 2015, just 3 days before the release of Fishing. So you can probably find out exactly when that was through the update notes. But yeah, it was fun, and I loved playing Pirate 101 back then. So I didn't play much on Wiz. I made my life character, and it didn't go very far because I just stopped playing it a bit, because I was focusing on Pirate, which is, in my opinion, the superior game. It honestly is the I would like to say Pirate 101 is the best game that KingsIsle has ever created, and I would definitely stick by that statement today. It's a great game. It's very different to Wizard101, and it's got far more strategy. Instead of just clicking random cards, it's like you actually have to control your companions and how you move them. Obviously, you guys know if you've watched my walkthrough. But I think that that type of game would be really good on Steam, because there's not many competitors for it, and if King's Isle had pulled it off well and actually updated it, I think it would have been very, very successful if they kept constantly updating it and just improving the game even more and more and more. Like they have, but it's been way too slow for it to become more mainstream, and I think that it's something that should have become more mainstream, and I think possibly adding it to Steam would give it its new life and new influx of players that would motivate the developers to start working on it again. Of course I got nothing. Wow, shit all. Anyway, and I think that's really important for a game to keep evolving as technology evolves, and I think that a next step for King's Isle would be definitely putting it on Steam. I think that would honestly be a really good idea for them. Wizard101 on Steam obviously would get more players and possibly older players returning again because they play games on Steam anyway. I don't think it would change anything like membership prices. I honestly don't think they would do that at all. My opinion. But I also think before they put Wizard101 especially on Steam, I think they should definitely update some things. I've seen a lot of other people who play Wiz on YouTube talk about updates that they would like to see, and there's a lot of them that I agree with, especially changing your player. I think I personally wouldn't do that because I honestly I love all of my characters. I don't name them ridiculously, and even if I did in the past, like my old my fire wizard that I've done a video about finding my old accounts, I think a whole year ago, I wouldn't change them for anything because they're part of me, they're nostalgic. But some people really dislike and are unhappy with how they made themselves back in like 2008, 2018, yeah, definitely 2008, and I don't know, I would I sympathize with them obviously, and it's definitely really odd, I would say, very odd of how King's Isle doesn't allow you to change your character. I think it would be a big improvement for them if they could, because basically all other MMORPG games, which is what Wizard101 and Pirate101 are, can allow that in some way, whether it's like a one-time use or like 3 crowns or microtransactions, which people hate so much, which that's a whole nother topic as well. But I think it would be a good improvement, and there's also other things like graphical updates, making it all like flow. Obviously they're starting to do that with the cinematics, or the cinematic camera angles. I don't actually remember what they called it, but the dynamic camera angles, I think that's what they call it, in Wizard City through Dragonspire now, which is how they do it in Chrysalis onwards, kind of like zooming the character into the character and to like the character you're talking to and all that sort of stuff, what they do in Pirate101 basically, and I love that. I think it gives a whole new kind of level to it. It's not as bland anymore, it kind of gives a bit more movement. But anyway, another topic. I think if they continue doing that, if they did some graphical reworks, which I really hope is coming up in the producer's letter for the end of last year, they definitely said what was one of the things that I definitely remember is what was old will be new again, and I'm kind of hoping that will be a graphical rework of some kind. I really hope that that's kind of what I hope. I really hope that they just work on old areas and making them better before doing that. But yeah, if they overall, I would definitely think it would be good and healthy for both games to be put on Steam, and I do hope that they definitely look into it and do it. My problem with things that people do is they just don't do things. So I think that what they should do is just go for it, and why not? If it gets more players, you earn money, and if it gives more advertisement. Why not? It earns more money. Either way, I kind of think that they should definitely go for it, like really should just do it, no matter what. Old players I don't think would be annoyed because it will increase the player count, which is why people think this game is dying. I use that in air quotes because this game really isn't dying. I've seen, like, this game isn't doing well, but like it's not dying. Like, there's a lack of players, but with each update they come back. Because at the moment this is my morning, my kind of morning afternoon. Usually there's a couple rounds. Like, look at this, these are all crowded, which is fantastic. Straight after Imperia came out, there was I think all the way down to like Blossom at one point was all full, which is crazy. I haven't seen that since back in like the peak times of like 2015 and before, kind of like when I started playing again. There was just a page full of, like, I remember coming on at like the peak time, which is my early morning, which I often can't be on. I've just seen like a page and like a half of just full realms. It was ridiculous. I'm like, whoa, this game's so full. And I definitely think that if they wanted to make the illusion that it's more full, they should cut down on the amount of realms that you can go to. So like cut them down by like half, because even these ones down here, they're still like perfect. So I personally prefer going on perfect realms just because I don't have a good computer to run the game and record at the same time, and I also kind of prefer playing by myself, but that's just me personally. But yeah, anyway, overall I think that they should definitely consider going on Steam. I don't know where this video went or how long it went. I kind of just blabbled for a bit, but yeah, hopefully there's something that can be taken out of that. I don't know, but yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, and if you've already subscribed, press the little bell so you know exactly when I post another video. And remember, craft outside the box.